We welcome you back to Game 4 on 2K Sports.
Better run there. We back for Old Still on Fire. I like it. Blazing hip hop and all the beat.
Randall out there with Luka. Then there's Luka Time, and it's Flowers in at the 2 spot. Collins. Randall with some nice D.
That's a surprise.
Oh, we can talk about
out of character for him to miss.
You see our geek conversation if you really want.
Right up on
And Doncic gets it to go.
That's just a fantastic decision from Doncic.
Our geek's one thing, a nerd is
Chance to go to
another
work
thing.
inside.
Technically, a nerd's a smart person. A geek is someone who's the goofy. So it's not geek culture, but nerd culture initially. Another thing, more intersectional. Computers. Gamers like computers. They like game systems. But computers are integral to gaming as well. The best looking video games for the longest time, and even still from time to time nowadays, are on computer. Because back in the day, so initially you had a system, a computer could do some pretty cool things. It had some good hardware aspects, but the hardware wasn't dedicated to gaming. A video game system is a computer that is dedicated to gaming. That's all it is.
Collins kicks to George. Wood, that's a 2-pointer.
Man.
It's rebounded by
You can make those too. Anyway, so if you understood computers and were lucky enough to be able to own one, because back when I was younger, a computer, so 90s, in the 90s, computers were cost prohibitive for the majority of households.
Capable of running the offense. Doncic, fantastic.
Only people of upper middle class or higher were the only people that had computers from about their inception, without going too far into the past, their inception, to about, we'll say 98. So if you didn't, and it's funny because a lot of people will be like, well, I had a computer, I wasn't upper middle class. I think a lot of people don't understand how well they had it when they were growing up. If you lived in a house, even if your family didn't own the house, you lived in the house, chances are, and it wasn't like 8 people in that house, I'm not including kids, mind you, but like, well, including kids. If you lived in a house and it wasn't more than 2 adults in the house, you were doing pretty well. That's middle to upper middle class already in America at that point. Because middle class has been shrinking in America for a while. It wasn't really that way in the 60s, 70s. Middle class could get a house, just whatever, even 80s. But in the 90s, especially in a nice neighborhood, because there are people, okay, so if you could get into a house on the poor side of San Antonio, and not be upper middle class, that's true. But where I lived, the people in the house, they generally had cable TV. They had cable TV. Now not everyone, but they had cable TV, multiple vehicle household. Like I said, they had the house, multiple bedroom houses, multiple bathrooms, at least a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, generally speaking. But yeah, those people, it was, they had computers. They had internet, and then high-speed internet really unlocked things. High-speed internet allowed for gaming like we hadn't seen. Before, to play video games, you had to go over to someone's house. Well, to play against each other anyway. You had to go to someone's house, or you had to go to the arcade. The arcade was a different beast altogether. The reason why arcades are so popular is because they initially, with their cabinets and their screens, they were able to give you an experience, because they were dedicated to one game each. They were able to give you an experience of better graphics. And it was cost effective because the amount of time that you'd be allowed to play per token put in, or per 50 cents or 25 cents, whatever the amount was very limited. If you have a game that's very popular, you're going to have a line there. So for the, let's say 10 hours, let's say your arcade is open from, let's say 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. For the 10 hours it's open, if you have a line of kids playing an arcade game, constantly putting quarters, that's very lucrative. For the longest time it was, because there were plenty of good arcade games that were coming out. It wasn't until the 2000s, and even the, I'd say, 2000s, yeah. Because in the 90s, it wasn't until a Nintendo 64 came out that the home consoles started to catch up to the arcades. They weren't quite there yet in full, but they were pretty much the They had everything that you needed at that point.
Collins against Randall.
Anyway, what was I getting at? Oh yeah, computers. People did not have, everyone didn't have a computer. Nowadays, I think 90% of the US has a computer, something like that. 90% of households have a computer. So even if you don't have your own computer. And then like cell phones are a computer in your pocket. And while they're not necessarily great for like high-end gaming, you can play games on your phone. You can play, if you got even without an emulator, like a proper, like, jailbroken, technically illegal emulator. I guess it's only illegal if you don't own a physical copy of the game to have the ROMs. But anyway, to get something like that, or to be able to use that nowadays on your phone, most phones are capable of doing that. My phone is kind of goofy. It's a $500 device. It's expensive. I'm very lucky to have my phone. It's a $500 device. It can play Genshin Impact. Genshin is a PS4 open world, what came out on PS4 and PC. Open world game where it's an RPG. And it's got a gacha system, whatever, it's free to play. It's a beautiful game. It's got a cool combat system, and that I'm able to play on my phone. That blows my mind that I can do that. I can buy Final Fantasies on my phone. I think I can buy all the way up to Final Fantasy 9, which might be only 32-bit game. But still, that's a PlayStation game that I can play on my phone. Call of Duty, that's not full Call of Duty, it's mobile, mind you, but it still has aspects. I think people play Fortnite on their phones with other people who are playing Fortnite on other consoles. It's crazy. I think. I haven't really looked into that. Probably should. Fortnite's dope.
Has been impressive. Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
So I have what's considered a mid-range phone, which blows my mind, dude. And it can play games like that. If you have a great phone, mine might be able to do some. You have Xbox Game Pass, you can play games on your phone.
Yep, exactly.
My point is, gaming technology has advanced to the point where you can game without it being cost prohibitive.
Nice shot by Pirtle.
For the majority.
For Jakob Pirtle.
I like Pirtle's ability to quickly move to the hoop after the screen. That, again, speaks to his mobility.
I think a lot of people are like, well, I can't afford a gaming system. I can't. In the U.S. anyway, mind you, I'm talking about people in the U.S. Well, I can't afford a PS5. I can't afford, you don't have to have the most modern gaming system. You're acting like there isn't a history of video games in this country. I joke about it that when I have kids, what I'm going to do, as soon as they're like 3, I'll introduce them to video games, right? I'm not going to really show them anything awesome on the phone. I'm not going to let them play with my phone or play with the tablet. We're not going to do that unless it's like a learning game. That kind of thing's cool. If it's like a learning game, yeah, dude, I'm going to show them the phone and the tablet. But what I want to do is, like, as soon as they're 3, I'm going to hook up an NES, and it's going to be like a present for them. They're going to get an NES, or maybe it'll be like a Wii that has, or a Wii. It might be a modern Nintendo system, but I'm only going to allow them to access like the NES functionality on there, basically. So they're going to start off with 8-bit games. And then by the time they're 5, I'll like allow them to access the Super NES stuff. And then at 7, the Nintendo 64. Or I might do it year by year. I haven't really thought that through. But yeah, that way they have some appreciation for, like, they're not just given the best of everything immediately. If you start off giving people the best of everything, I don't think that's a great thing. It's kind of like if you're already at the top, like, what do you have to look forward to, you know? And also, I feel you get spoiled. I remember there was people, they used to watch anime online, right? And there used to be a bunch of free anime sites. They were everywhere in the late 90s and early 2000s, all the way up until like, what, 2015, I think is when they really started to crack down. But anyway, and it would blow my mind that people, it was free. It was free. You weren't paying for anything, and this was high quality stuff. and there'd be sites that they were borrowed from, or there'd be a player that would play it, and you could watch an hour and 20 minutes of anime, but then it had a refresh time of like 40 minutes. So you'd have to do something for those 40 minutes. Or some of them would have commercials or advertisements where it's like a 2-minute advertisement for every 20 minutes watched. And people would complain about that. And it would blow my mind. It's like, do something else for 40 minutes, dude. Anything. You're getting free stuff that you can watch. But like, because they couldn't binge it continuously without interruption, they would pitch a fit like, this is so terrible, this is so mid. They didn't say mid back then, but just translate it to the modern lingo. Like, bro, you're complaining about nothing. It's like, come on now. Let me see here. Now, if you're paying for a product, and there's a lot of commercials, if you're paying for a product and you have like a cooldown timer, yeah, that would be trash. That'd be so jank. I would not be happy with that. We're not talking about that. It's about something that's free. You never complain if it's free.
Dallas making a switch here. Randall's checked in. San Antonio calls timeout. And now we
when it comes
New
to
player of the game, Jalen Duren.
And his percentage from the field tonight.
Hey, let me actually think about it. Let me parse that out. There's hundreds. Okay, so NES games, there's probably about 30 NES games I would say are still worth playing for a little bit. And actually have to make a list and see. Like, Excitebite's kind of fun. Ice Climbers, Mario 1, 2, 3. What's it called? I think there was a Yoshi's Island game on the NES too that I never played. That was pretty cool. Dr. Mario, Punch Out. Pretty much Excitebike, right? The ice hockey game's kind of cool. The sports games, they haven't really held up too well. When really, and the kids at that age, they're not really into sports games too much, generally speaking. Kirby's another cool one. Kid Icarus, Metroid, although that might be a little too advanced. Zelda 1 and 2. What else? But yeah, there's enough games that a kid would be entertained playing those games, especially at like 3 to 5 years old. The whole idea is you don't take those games away from them either. So they still have access to those games. And the Super NES, if you have a 3 to 5 year old playing these games, at 5 years old, you unbox a Super NES, it's gonna blow their mind.
Flowers, covered by Vassell. Stolen away. Nice job to
maybe keep them on the Super NES until they're 7. I understand this is probably not doable. He's going to have friends that are going to show him stuff. They're going to have friends. But a man can dream, right? This is like ideal world. Let's see here. Yeah, we should go bench. I don't want anyone getting injured. I want to wrap up this series quickly and calmly. I'm actually going to put Eubanks in right here. Christian Wood, Jalen Duren. Actually, Vika goes there. Paul George. Or no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do that. And then when Duren comes out, yeah. Oh wait, Duren can come out. It's Dort that can. But I'm so confused.
Free throw good, George.
What am I doing? Took all the time out there. What Dort?
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Oh, I'm going to lose that third time. That's fine.
And it's Vassell.
Still got a foul here. And call time.
And that'll be his third foul so far. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here.
I'll play coach next to the sub that I neglected to do.
For George. Mason Allen's checked in for Devin Vassell.
Okay, so during he's going to come out for a week.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Bro, it drives me crazy. Why can't I go to Duren? There you go. Zubac, Allen, Sumner. Okay, we're good.
Zubac is checked in for the Spurs.
Alright, so, as I was saying, if you have the NES, the Super NES, the 64, GameCube is kind of weak. GameCube, Wii was great.
Passes to Terry.
Wii was weak. Switch. Okay, so...
Handle outside. Shot clock at 6. Here's Jackson. Shooting foul
Let's keep it on a quick
as the
time
whistle
frame.
blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Let's say kids born 2 years.
And he got bumped.
Around
Yeah, the
7.
officials didn't
Okay,
need to
so
talk
kids
that
born
one
in
over. It
2
was
years from
obvious.
now.
Luka Doncic.
It's got
He's
3 from
checked
5
in for
years.
Dallas.
It'll be 2028.
Here's Sumner.
Let's say begin 2029, right?
To the middle.
Kids.
Here's George. And it's George
Yeah,
finishing it
let's
off.
say begin
George
2029.
rising up with great confidence
The
and
NES
strength.
then.
Threw it down with authority.
So that's 5 years from
And
now.
so
Nintendo.
Doncic will bring it up for Dallas.
Okay, so PlayStation 5
Randall left side.
and
Here's Harrelson, defended by
the
Allen.
Xbox
Excellent D there
Series
from
X.
Allen.
Those should be on the way out at that point. Because we're already, what, year 3 on them?
Pass to Sumner.
78 years of use, yeah. Yeah, next gen game
Outside for
soon.
George.
Kid's not going to know any of that
Off
stuff. It's 3.
target from three-point
Alright,
range.
so
Dallas has gone 1 of 2.
we'll just say that we'll be operating on the current generation of
Doncic
technology with the
passes to
exception of the Switch. Switch will be next gen.
On the wing, Isaac. Pass to Jackson. Just 5 to shoot.
Yeah, 3 to 5, NES.
And the layup's good off the glass.
Really easy
Man,
to
that's
appreciate
6 we
Isaac.
unlock.
I mean, a solid teammate who's always
Super Nintendo,
ready to share
maybe.
the sugar.
Spurs leading by 23.
That's 7,
Passes to Zubac.
64.
Here's
And from there it's like GameCube and
To the left
Switch at
wing.
8. Or GameCube and Wii at 8 is what I'm
Sumner
trying to
gets
say.
to Allen.
Wii U, really all that stuff got re-released on the Switch anyway. So Switch at that point,
The pass to Eubanks.
that'd be what, 9?
Over Jackson. And no good that time. And the Mavericks going the other way now.
And we are now in the final stages of this one. Game 4, pretty
And
much
by 10, he's on the
ice.
next
A
gen. On the
fantastic
current,
victory.
well, on
for San
Nintendo's
Antonio.
next gen.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, but an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into
Another thing, my
Yeah,
kid,
there was a sense of that, and man,
Initially.
they just pretty much blew them
probably just
right
gonna be
out
Nintendo's
of the water.
Spurs.
A clinic was put on display here today.
you get them to the more mature stuff.
Connects from
You
three-point
start playing
range.
like Final
I
Fantasy.
tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays
I don't
the
know,
game
what
from
was I
this
playing?
season.
Final Fantasy games.
Nice ball movement by San
First
Antonio.
one's fine. It's not
Allen
violent
shot
or
is
anything.
off.
That's another
Now
one.
the Mavericks
That's
with
good
it.
Final Fantasy.
Floats it up for Randall.
It's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency, huh? They could have done it much earlier before the game was out of reach.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Here's Eubanks. And the rejection by Jackson.
I'm trying to think about the themes in Final Fantasy.
Out to the wing. Jacks up a 3.
Yeah,
Harrelson's shot is off.
they can play for sure all the way up to
A
12,
drive
but
by Allen. And
nothing's
nothing
too
is
crazy.
falling for him right
There is
now.
death and whatnot, but at 10
And
years
so
old,
it's San Antonio. Easily
See, I
taking
think
this
I was
one. And now they're sitting on a
97.
commanding 3 games to 1 lead.
around 11
They
years old.
grabbed this
11
series
and 12
by
when I
the
started
throat
playing
grab.
Final Fantasy 7, Tactics, Breath of Fire.
You can see the determination
They can deal with that
they
stuff by
had
now.
tonight. They
Okay,
don't
no, I
want to
can't bend
drag
over.
this series out. They want
Told
to
you
get
this.
this thing over with.
And now we'll
And
send it
speaking
over to
which,
David
unfortunately,
Aldridge, who is
he didn't
standing
get
by
it.
courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. DeMar, we know this team has offensive options, but it looks like there's great confidence defensively now.
Yeah, we have to. That's what we got
First
to do. We
language
play
beyond
defense.
now.
We know we can score the basketball
44,
whenever we want.
nice.
We just got to get stopped.
Very
DeMar
impressive.
DeRozan.
Very impressive.
DeRozan
DeMar.
twilight of
Thank
his
you.
career.
Back to you, Kevin.
Still putting
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. It's time for us to say goodbye. We hope you've enjoyed our second round coverage of the.
All right, let's check it out. Jalen Duren, great game. 34-12-2, 4-2. Duren's easily, I think, going to cruise to his second MVP. Murray's the only one that's really going to give him any kind of competition. 20 and 10 for Wood. He did that consistently. Wow, that'd be dangerous. 16, 4, and 18. So it look like 18 assists. Oh, that's amazing. 16 and 4 for Collins, 14 14 for Pohl with 2 blocks. Very nice. Still had a decent game. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 14 assists, and 2 steals. Man. Did assist 10 points for Dort. Not bad at all. Paul George. Chipping in, DeRozan, Grayson Allen. We're doing all right here. Look at this rebound numbers. Total, Duran, Wood. Heck yeah. Duran, Wood, Collins, Murray in points. So Collins had 16 and 4. That's not bad for a backup, man. 14 and 14 starter. My guys are just killing my bigs. Murray. These three guys here. Murray, Vasil, and DeRozan getting those assist numbers, dude. Steals, 2 for Duran, 1 for Vasil. That's awesome. Duran, George, and Poole each with a block. I can dig. The other side. 4 of 12, 10, 7, and okay, so it's like 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 18 assists. 18 assists. I mean, he only shot 33%. I mean, still got 20. 20 on 24 field goal attempts. It's not terrible. 14 rounds, 18. I mean, he's responsible for a lot of points. Got Xavier Booker over here. He played well. 16, 2, 2, 4. Sexton did okay. 14, 4, and 4. Jackson did great. 12, 2, 2. Julius Randle's 3 of 4. 12, 6. Flowers, man. Flowers cannot get it going. Honestly, Flowers, I just played too good. Flowers and Doncic weren't efficient enough for them to win. Colin Sexton saying, "Oh, Kitty, I can't do it, Kitty boy. I can't bend over." It's okay. I'm sorry. He's like, "I saw you walking." I don't believe you. Alright, we're going to cut it here. Thank you for watching the second half of that. I'm now going to start the 5th game. We're going to get these Mavericks out of here in 5.